You are 16, bone sharp, hands calloused, eyes too old for your age. The village wind always carries the scent of smoke, sheep, and sorrow. That morning, the scent changes. You wake to shouting, then silence. Your mother does not meet your eyes. Your father wipes his hands on his tunic, avoiding your gaze, his mouth pressed shut like a wound that refuses to heal. They've come for you. Leather boots crush dry earth. Horses snort. Men with cold eyes and colder hearts speak a language you don't understand, but their gestures need no translation. Your wrists are bound with a red silk cord. They say it's a marriage, an honor, but the silk bites deeper than rope. The coins exchanged are heavy in your father's hand. He doesn't look up when you call his name. Your mother weeps, but makes no move to stop them. The neighbors pretend they don't hear. You're dragged into a cart, wooden wheels worn and splintered. The sky looms wide and unforgiving above the plains. Wind claws at your hair as the village fades behind you, a blur of grey huts and dying fires. You do not scream, you do not beg, you just look back until the last tree disappears, until the road bends, and your past is gone. The cart creaks forward. You sit in silence among sacks of millet and wool, as if you're just another piece of cargo. From this moment on, your name, your skin, your voice, none of it belongs to you. Only one truth remains. You are being taken, and you will never come back. The camp smells of harsh sweat, iron, and meat left too long in the sun. Mongol tents rise like white scars against the land. Men shout, laugh, gamble with bones. You are thrown into a tent. No words, just gestures. A woman older, sharp-eyed, thick hands kneels before you and cuts the bindings from your wrists. Then she strips you bare. You flinch, arms wrapping around yourself, but it does not matter. She does not look at you like a person, just another animal to be scrubbed clean. Cold water, rough cloth, ash scrubbed soap. She washes you like you are dirt to be erased. Your skin stings, welts bloom red. You bite your lip until you taste blood. A robe is thrown at you, fine silk, dyed red, not yours, not made for you, too tight at the chest, too wide at the shoulders. The fabric whispers as you move, like a voice mocking your every step. Then they bring you to him, the general. He's younger than you expected, maybe 30, broad shoulders. Eyes like stone, a scar crosses his lip. He does not speak to you, he circles, inspects you. Like a horse, like a slave, you hold your breath. A soldier whispers something, the general nods, you are accepted. That night, you were taken to another tent. This one filled with young girls, some with bruises, some with eyes so blank they look carved from wax. You sleep curled in a corner, unable to rest. Every time the silk shifts on your skin, you remember the woman's hands, the general's stare, your father's silence. In the morning, your hair is braided in a foreign style. Your tongue is forced to repeat strange sounds. A woman slaps your mouth when you mispronounce. You are trained like a pet. Walk this way, sit like this, speak only when spoken to. A girl disappears one evening. No one mentions her again. You begin to understand. This is no paradise, no honor. This is a glittering cage, and you are being polished like a jewel to decorate someone's war horse. The silk tightens around your body. The scent of blood never leaves the air. You are not a bride. You are a possession. A prize for a man who conquers villages with fire. Your tears dry quietly in the dark. They take you to the gare on the eastern ridge. It belongs to the general. You do not enter through the main flap, but the side like a servant. Inside, silk carpets muffled in dust, weapons hang beside embroidered robes. A wolf skin thrown across the bed. The general barely glances at you. You kneel, you wait. That is the rule. Other women glance at you, some curious, some hostile. One, older, eyes lined with kohl, wears a gold bangle, and never speaks. She nods once, slowly. You do not know yet if it is kindness or warning. They teach you the law of silence. Speak out of turn, and the whip speaks louder. Smile at the wrong man, and you're branded a temptress. Falter in obedience, and you disappear like smoke in wind. One girl is caught stealing dried apricots. That night, you hear her screams behind the goat pens. In the morning, she is gone, her robe left behind, neatly folded, stained. Another laughs too loudly during supper. A senior concubine pushes her into the fire pit. Her screams are met with silence. No one helps. You learn quickly. You walk with your eyes lowered, your hands clasped. You eat last. You speak never. You sleep with one eye open. Each face you pass becomes a mask. The softest smile might hide a blade. The warmest voice might belong to your next accuser. There is no court of justice here, only whispers, rumors, and fear. One night, the general calls you forward. You tremble as you kneel before him. He does not speak. He only raises your chin. His fingers are rough, calloused from rains and war. He looks at you, if inspecting a piece of armor. Then he turns away. You are dismissed without a word. That moment is a warning. You are nothing, not yet. But they are watching, measuring, waiting to see if you will survive long enough to matter. So you harden, you watch, you listen. You learn the rhythm of power, when to speak, when to bow, when to smile. Fear is the first language you master. It is winter when you begin to change. Your breath fogs in the morning air as you gather firewood. Your hands blister, your feet crack, but you walk with dignity, even when no one watches. That is your first weapon, entrance. Then comes the second observation. You study the movements of the favored consort, the tilt of her head when she wins his favor, the slight pause before she pours his wine. You mimic, not mock, subtle, careful. An older Golin, Altony, begins to help you. Her voice is low, eyes sharp as flint. Never trust anyone who gives you honeyed milk, she says. They mix it with snake root. She teaches you to feign ignorance, to let others speak too much, to wear softness like armor. One night, you see a kitchen boy dragged out, accused of tampering with the general's stew. His fingernails are torn off before sunrise. You say nothing. Then your test comes. A pearl comb is found under your sleeping mat. Not yours. You don't even know its worth. A scream, a slap, a crowd gathers. She stole it. Someone says, another nods. I saw her with it. They're lying. You meet Altony's eyes. She doesn't speak. You want to cry, scream, tear the tent apart. Instead, you bow your head and whisper, "Forgive me. I will return the comb. It is the correct answer." You are punished 3 lashes across your back, but not exiled, not broken. Later, Altony sits beside you, places a thin salve on the bleeding welts. Now they know you'll yield, but you'll never kneel again the same way. After that, you are chosen. Not for pleasure, not for service. You are chosen to attend the general's wife, a higher circle, a deeper pit. Here, women walk in silence and wear jewelry like chains. Their perfume hides the rot of secrets. You stand quietly behind the wife, hands folded. You learn how she speaks to him, not with words, but glances, pauses, breath. And one day, she asks you to spy. You have eyes. Use them A dangerous request, a deadly trust, but you obey. You report whispers, footsteps, who lingers near the general's tent along. You become her shadow, her knife in silk, and when the general's new concubine is found weeping in the snow, accused of poisoning the soup no one suspects, you place the crushed seeds in her pouch. You survive. Again, you look into the frozen river and see yourself still 16, still alive, but your gaze is no longer soft. You are no longer a child, you are a smiling blade. By spring, they call you the quiet one, but quiet is no longer silence. It is strategy. You no longer walk in the cold. You sleep on layered furs. You wear soft doeskin slippers and robes with silver thread hems. Your place behind the general's wife has shifted now. You stand beside her, and sometimes in her place. Your words are few, but they are sharpened to a point. The general begins to notice, not with lust but curiosity. He watches how others defer to you, how servants hesitate before speaking. He sees what you've become, and he likes it. The wife sees it too. One night, you wake to the sound of weeping. The general's wife is kneeling before a shrine, nails bloody, murmuring curses in a tongue you don't recognize. The next morning, she offers you warm goat's milk. You tip it over, accidentally. You do not drink it. That night, your stomach knots. Not from poison but from fear. You are now a threat. 2 days later, you find a knife under your pillow. You do not sleep that night. Then it happens. The general falls sick, fever, delirium. Someone whispers, he was poisoned. The wives panic. The camp becomes a cage of shrieking birds. The old consort, the one with the gold bangle, is accused. You know it isn't her. But she is dragged away anyway. You make your move. You visit the general, bring him bitter herbs you crushed yourself. You do not speak. You simply place a cool cloth on his brow and leave. Twice, thrice, you become the only calm thing in his world. He recovers, slowly, and when he rises, he asks for you by name. You are brought to him not as a slave, not as a servant, but as a woman with power. He does not smile. He simply says, "You saved me." You say nothing. But from that day on, you are watched by everyone. The other women, they whisper your name with hatred. One tries to trip you during a ceremony. Another switches your perfume with horse dung. Then one evening, Altony, the only one you trusted, is found dead near the latrines. Her wrist slit. You scream. Not aloud. Inside. The grief coils into something sharp. They say it was suicide. But you see the bruises on her arms. You know the truth. You sit by the fire that night, stone-faced, as the flames flicker in your eyes. You do not cry. You write her name in the dirt with your finger. Then you erase it. The game is clear now. Survival is not enough. You must conquer. You are no longer afraid. You know how the blood moves beneath silk. You know how a smile can kill. Now, you are the system. Now, you are the blade that others fear. Years pass. The steppe does not change, but you do. You no longer rise with the camp drums. Servants do that for you. The tent is yours, now larger than any other, save the general's, but he is rarely here. He rides to wars far from this valley. Returns sometimes with blood on his furs, foreign trinkets in his saddlebag, and silence in his eyes. He still asks for you, but not often. You sleep alone. The women who once hated you are gone, exiled, disgraced, or buried without names. You outlive them all. Your name is spoken now with caution, with calculation, sometimes with reverence. And yet there is no joy in it. Each night, you sit by the fire and comb the same long braid you've worn since the winter Altony died. You never cut it, not once. A child sleeps nearby, not yours, not by blood. She's the daughter of a girl who begged you for protection. You offered it, for a price: obedience, silence, loyalty. The girl paid, then died birthing this child. Now the little one watches you with wide eyes, not knowing the weight of what she owes. You teach her softly how to bow without seeming weak, how to lie with her eyes, how to survive. One day, she will need it. You often dream of your village, the smell of sheep, the sound of your mother stirring barley in a cracked pot. In the dream, your father does not look away. In waking life, you remember too clearly the red silk on your wrists, the coins in his hands. You no longer hate him. You no longer feel anything at all. Your body is tired. The furs do not warm you as they once did. Your breath comes slower in winter. Sometimes you trace the outline of a blade beneath your sleeve, not as a threat, but as memory. The general will die someday. So will his wars, his camp, his bloodline. But you will remain, in whispers, in rules that others follow without knowing who wrote them. In the way a girl bows too deeply, in the silence that follows a scream. You sit by the fire with the child cold beside you, and for a moment, just a moment, you remember snow on your lashes and the scent of pine from a childhood that never returned. You close your eyes. You are no longer human. You are the shadow that survived an entire dynasty.